Hello everybody and welcome to Okayama Prefecture, and today we are in Kurashiki City and we are in the very historic district along the canal, in Japanese Bikan, and we're going to take a walk along the canal, and as you can see there are a lot of historic buildings here, and just enjoy the walk. We have some really beautiful weather here. And yeah, kind of late afternoon, early October. So anyway, actually you can see a little bit of some autumn leaves coming in right there, the first autumn leaves of the year. So this is the canal, and let's take a walk. So as I said, there's a lot of history here in this area. And it goes back to the Edo era in Japanese history, which would be in the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries. And that's when, well, that was before the modernization of Japan. And of course, back then, the number one biggest commodity, I guess, was rice. And so at that time the rice farmers would come here. All right, so here's the first of 3 stone bridges that we're going to see today. There are 3. You can get some nice views. And this building here, this is the Ohara Museum, which has nothing to do with the history of Kurashiki, but this is considered to be the best museum in Japan for Western art. And it has a lot of the big names that everybody knows. Let me check my notes here. For example, Picasso, El Greco, Gauguin, Rodin, Pollock, and Kandinsky. So yeah, a lot of famous painters have their works here in Kurashiki. And it was about 1,500 yen, or about $15 to go in, so it's pretty expensive. So you can see these weeping willow trees here along the canal. And so as I was saying, Kurashiki has some history going back to rice. So back in the Edo era, the rice farmers would come here and they would bring their rice and put it in these storehouses. All of these buildings here are the original storehouses. And then later it would be shipped off to Osaka and Edo, which today is Tokyo. But it was a big business, and Kurashiki was a big flourishing city at that time because of the rice business. And so they have these canals here, and these canals connect out to the Seto Inland Sea. So they would come in by boat. They built these canals so that they could come into Kurashiki and easily access these storehouses. So I think here, this is probably the most famous stone bridge. And this is the Tourist Information Center in a historic building right there. So anyway, let's go up So there it is. That's the Tourist Information Center. And the canal. So we've actually seen quite a few people here wearing kimono. You may have seen earlier in this video. I guess they're just tourists. And then of course over here you can see men with their rickshaws. And they would be happy to pull you around and explain all the history. And then also we saw this earlier, but they have these men in these historic boats. You can see they're waiting for their next customers, but you can take a cruise here on the canals. So a lot of kind of tourist opportunities here, and a lot of these historic storehouses have been converted into restaurants or little boutiques and souvenir shops and things like that. So they've definitely preserved it, and yeah, it's nice for a stroll as we're doing right now. And actually I came here about 5 years ago, and it was in January. It was freezing cold, and I was here at nighttime, and actually these lights here were turned on, and the reflection of the lights coming off of the buildings and off of the canal, it was just really nice. It was super cold, and it was hard to really relax and enjoy it. But anyway, we have beautiful weather here today. Yeah, and so as I said, the Ohara Museum was earlier, and there are some other museums here, and this one right here, just to the right. This is the Museum of Folk Craft. There it is in English, Kurashiki Museum of Folk Craft. So actually, we haven't gone in any of these museums. I think if you go in one, it would probably be the Ohara Museum. But just going inside these buildings would be really nice and interesting. We also passed earlier, I didn't point it out, but the Kake Museum, or the, I don't know, Cake Museum? Kake? Kake Museum, maybe?
I was there, just next to the information center.
Yeah, just next to the information center. K-A-K-E. I don't know if it's kake or cake. Maybe kake. This?
Toy.
Yeah. Okay. And here is the Toy Museum. So again, another museum located in a historic storehouse. Here's a coffee and souvenir shop. A lot of people walking around eating ice cream. We've seen a lot of high school students wearing their school uniforms. We're guessing it's probably a school trip. Things are getting better here in Japan with the pandemic. And state of emergency has been lifted nationwide. Vaccines are rolling out. So I guess schools are starting to get out and about. So here's one of the famous things is denim. And Kurashiki has a long history with cotton and textiles. In fact, the first cotton mill is located just across the canal. So yeah, there's a connection to denim here. This is Tully's Coffee, which is a Japanese chain. maybe a competitor to Starbucks. And you can see it's here in this traditional building. And here is the third stone bridge. And there's the view. And you can actually see a boat there coming this way. So again, just a really beautiful day. The sunlight is coming in and just really making these white buildings shine. And this area here in Okayama Prefecture used to be called Bizen. And Bizen was really famous for its type of pottery. So any kind of pots, or not pots, but plates and cups. And actually this is it right here. Yeah. So they have stores here selling, they call it Bizen Yaki in Japanese. But here you can see kind of like maybe teacups and was it tokuri for Japanese sake? Yeah, teacups. So this is called Bizen Yaki, the type of pottery that's famous here in Okayama Prefecture. So there it is, a tour on the boat. And I believe this coming up is the Momotaro Museum, right up here. And Momotaro is a legend in, that everybody knows here in Japan. And it takes place here in Okayama Prefecture, so they obviously... okay. Maybe it's over here, sorry. Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe this is the classic view here. Of course, you have the bridge and that nice tourist information center. There it is. That's a pretty nice view there of the building and the bridge and the canal, and of course the weeping willow trees as well. So actually, if I turned right back there and walked away from the canal, that would have taken us to a place called Ivy Square, which is the location of the first cotton mill in Japan. And it's a hotel, they got restaurants and things like that. It's pretty nice, but I don't think we'll be going there in this video. Just enjoying the walk here along the canal and all the museums and restaurants and things like that. Yeah, even these small streets like this are really atmospheric. Like this. Yeah, so you can really imagine what it must have been like back in the 1600s, 1700s, back before they had electricity and modern living. This place really feels like it's stuck in time. I'm gonna go very quickly back here to this next street. And this is called a storehouse shopping street. And again, we walked back here. It's got a lot of stores and things like that. But it's not very busy today. A lot of stores are closed. But it is kind of a nice street. You can see similar architecture with the storehouses. So anyway, there are a few other things just off of the canal that you can do here. But again, the main attraction is the canal itself. So we're going to go back to the canal. And finish off the walk. So one of those rickshaws just passed behind me. The tour guide was saying that these small streets like this are very photogenic, maybe good for Instagram. So he said, after the tour, feel free to take pictures of this. So anyway. All right, so let's go out here and finish off the walk along the canal. So it's very easy to get here actually. If you're in Tokyo or Osaka or Kyoto, you can easily jump on the bullet train, the Shinkansen, and head west toward Fukuoka and get off at Okayama Station. And then you can get on a local train, and it's about 15 minutes to get here to Kurashiki. And then it's about a 10-minute walk from the station. So it's very easily accessible. Good place to come for maybe 2 days, 1 night. And so here we are back at the first stone bridge. The beginning of the video. Alright, so I think this is going to be the end of our video. Again, this was a quick walk along the famous historic canal here in Kurashiki City in Okayama Prefecture. So anyway, thank you so much for watching our video today. Do you have any comments?
倉敷に来ました。すごい綺麗なところで、皆さんもよかったら来てみてください。
Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and this is our first video to make outside the Kansai area, and we don't know the future with this pandemic and everything, but if we have the chance to get out and see something, we'll definitely make a video and bring it to you, so you can explore Japan with us together. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please click like down below, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. So again,
Instagram.
and please follow us on Instagram. We're going to be posting some really beautiful pictures from here in Kurashiki, so definitely follow us on Instagram as well. Discover Japan with Drew. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.